Hey, it's NPR's Book of the Day. I'm Andrew Limbong. All right, not to brag, but I'm pretty decent in the kitchen, but I'm more of a stovetop kind of guy. I've never really gotten a knack for baking. And I think it's because of something our next guest says. Betül Tunç is the author of the new cookbook, Turkaz Kitchen, all about working with dough. And she says the key to the perfect dough is A, following recipe directions thoroughly, and B, patience. Two things that I'm not great at. But hearing about some of these recipes, I might want to try to get a little bit better. Tunç shares some more doughy secrets with Here and Now's Jane Clayson after the break.
This message comes from Carvana. Discover your car's worth with Carvana Value Tracker. Stay up to date when your car's value changes. Always know your car's worth with Carvana Value Tracker.
Donald Trump is starting his second term as president. What will his administration do and what policies will it promote? On the NPR Politics podcast, we'll break down what the new administration does and explain why it matters. Listen to the NPR Politics podcast every day.
It all began in 2021 with a hypnotic video of hands manipulating bread dough as it's kneaded and punched, allowed to rest, and then shaped into a beautiful loaf. That video, Punch Down Dough, went viral, and its star, Betül Tunç, became a phenomenon. Her Turkaz Kitchen videos on Instagram have amassed 10.5 million followers. Now, Betül Tunç has published her first cookbook, which is also called Turkaz Kitchen, and she joins us now via Skype to talk about it. Welcome to Here and Now.
Thank you so much for having me.
Well, thank you for coming. Take us back 4 years ago, where it all started with that Punch Down Dough video that really changed your life. What made you think, I'm going to put my hand and punch down some dough, I'm going to put that online?
I don't know, it's just coming with naturally, you never just plan to do something when you cook in front of camera. I have so many experience and I knew what makes people happy, you understand that. And I always just love to prepare different kind of bread dough and it always just coming perfect raisin dough. And then I was like, okay, if I just open the perfect raisin dough immediately and I just push the dough, punch down the dough smoothly, it would be perfect. And just people really love them. I don't know. It came naturally.
What do you think is so mesmerizing about you punching down dough?
I think they found it so therapeutic and then they feel like, okay, our stress is going down and we are relaxing with the dough because baking is a therapy, especially kneading the dough is a therapy for so many people and for me too. And then I think this was the reason why they find them so mesmerizing. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Well, after that, your videos were getting 8 to 10 million views each. And I am one that was absolutely hypnotized by these videos. From your dress to your kitchen tools. You transport us to a 19th century Turkish kitchen. What's the process of curating your videos? Because they look so professional.
Actually, I have always loved everything vintage and historical. I really love vintage aesthetic. Even before starting my Instagram page, I had a small collection of interesting vintage kitchen tools and utensils, It's because whenever we visited any new city, I would make a point to stop by antique stores. And over time, I gathered so many unique items, such as a yellow bear bowls and different utensils and cookwares. Now I happily use them in my videos and my followers seem to love them as much.
The bowls and the saucers. I mean, you have a hand crank mixer that you use. I think, how in the world does she make a meal with that hand crank mixer? They're all antiques, right? Is it harder to cook the old-fashioned way or is it more fun?
It is definitely so fun. To be honest, I can't use all of the just vintage tools for everyday cooking. I wish I had the time to churn my butter every single time in my butter churner, of course. But for practical reason, I do use my modern appliances like stand mixer. But whenever I do use vintage tools, it feels so special. It connects me to the process. And especially, it's so fun when we cook with my son.
Well, this is your first cookbook. It's beautiful. You share 85 recipes for sweet and savory doughs and the dishes to make with them. What makes a good dough?
To make a good dough, you need to use high-quality ingredients like good flour and fresh yeast, and you have to have patience and you have to understand of the recipe. And also, I have to say, following the instructions carefully and letting the dough rest properly are the key point to achieving amazing result, I think.
What are your favorite recipes in the book?
Oh my God. It is so hard because it's like picking a favorite child. The Turkish section, the whole section holds a special place in my heart because those recipes are coming from my childhood. But if I had to pick a specific one, I would choose empanadas.
The empanadas, yes.
It is my comfort food, the crispy crust and delicious feeling. And I always serve it with salsa roja, salsa verde, and a little bit pico de gallo. It is out of this world. Please make it, and I'm pretty sure you're going to love it.
These are the recipes that caught my eye. The chocolate babka. This is one of your most tried and loved recipes. What is so special about this one?
I think it is a comfort recipe for everyone. Who doesn't like chocolate? I don't know. Like, it's rich, indulgent, and always a hit.
So is the signature brioche. This is a very versatile dough. What makes it so versatile?
The secret of the brioche dough, the type of brioche dough, and for the enriched dough, you have to knead the dough so well. So I'm using always my stand mixer to make the brioche dough. So you have to rest the dough and then knead the dough one more time. It sometimes takes 20 to 30 minutes. And at the end, you're going to have the most delicious and puffy and velvety texture brioche. It's so good.
There's a spinach mushroom deep dish quiche, which caught my eye because it seems the battle of the cracked quiche crust is over. No breaks, no cracks, no seepage in this particular recipe. How did you do it?
The secret is adding an egg to the crust because I have so many bad experience with the quiche crust. I love quiche. So I find this like a way to add, like I added an egg and I find it binds everything together and prevents cracks. This recipe has been my go-to recipe for years, and it's never fails me.
Your love affair with dough began as a little girl in northeastern Turkey. As you explain in the cookbook, you had lots of long and snowy winters. You made Turkish breads with your mother. What did she teach you about baking?
She taught me all of the basics, I would say. She was always encouraging. She included me in her baking and cooking every single time, even if it meant messy results. She believed that making mistakes was the best way to learn. She was always just like, okay, you made a mistake, you learn, you will not do it again, try it again. And then I was trying the things again and again until I got the best result. She taught me how to read the dough exactly by touching and feel. For this reason, I made my dough recipes without using any measurements for years because I understand like how it should be. Until I share my recipes in social media, I had to use measurements for people. But yeah, I owe so many things to her, and then I learned all of the basics from her.
What do you think your mother would say to you putting a book together with the recipes that she taught you?
I didn't have a chance to show her yet the whole book. This summer, I hope when I go to Turkey, I'm gonna show her, and then I'm gonna like explain the recipes because she doesn't know English and I have to explain them. Let's see what she's going to say, if she's going to like, or she's going to find something to say, okay, you would do like this.
You can feel your passion and your love for baking on every page of this book. What do you want home cooks to know about baking and using dough and getting the best results?
I would love to say trust the recipe, follow it closely, and don't be afraid to make mistakes. That's how we learn and improve our skills. And also, I would love to say, please enjoy and then focus on to enjoy the process and just make it.
Instagram star Betül Tunç. Her new cookbook is Turkaz Kitchen. Betül, delightful to speak with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. It was so nice to talk with you.
Matt Wilson spent years doing rounds at children's hospitals in New York City.
I had a clip-on tie. I wore Heelys, size 11.
Matt was a medical clown.
The role of a medical clown is to reintroduce the sense of play and joy and hope and light into a space that doesn't normally inhabit.
Ideas about navigating uncertainty. That's on the TED Radio Hour podcast from NPR.
Wait, don't tell me. Fresh air up first. NPR News Now, Planet Money, TED Radio Hour, Throughline, the NPR Politics Podcast, Code Switch, Embedded, Books We Love, Wild Card are just some of the podcasts you can enjoy sponsor-free with NPR Plus. Get all sorts of perks across more than 20 podcasts with the bundle option. Learn more at plus.npr.org.
Do you make resolutions in January? We do. Specifically, we make pop culture resolutions. We also check in on what we resolved to do this last year. Did we catch up on all those classic movies or finally write that novel? Find out on the Pop Culture Happy Hour podcast from NPR.